An open access journal is one to which access is free and unrestricted, unlike perhaps a print journal where you have to go to a library or pay a lot of money for a subscription.
So they're not, you don't need to pay for them. They're available to anybody who wishes to engage with information which has been written primarily by an academic audience.
A kind of, I don't know, philosophical or ethical dimension to it as well. So it's also about trying to reach out to communities where they don't necessarily have the same level of access to information, and to provide them with access at no cost.
If you're an academic, to a certain extent, your reputation depends on the so-called impact factor of the journals you publish in. And therefore, the most prestigious journals are closed access. And in order to gain your reputation and to maintain your reputation, you have to, there is strong pressure on you to publish in a closed access journal.
Yes, I mean, if you publish in, you're in a field like science and you publish an article in Nature, for example, then that gives you a lot of kudos. There's no doubt about that. But actually, when we're assessed for our research excellence, which is what's going on at the moment, they actually read the articles and look at them and assess the quality. So yes, one of the issues is what journal it's in, but another issue is, well, what's the quality of the article like?
Academic audiences tend to speak to academic audiences, right? So you begin to speak in ever narrowing circles to very, very specific people. And I think that the more open access, particularly journals where you may be challenged, where that thinking may be challenged, is probably the way to go, so that you're not constantly engaging only with a select group of academics. If what we're trying to do is engage a broad group of people with knowledge, then I don't see the point of speaking to other academics, quibbling on minor points and missing the broader picture.
Now, my interest is in education. And so if I publish something in a closed education journal, then we're in a position where it's read largely by other education academics. And arguably, they're not my target audience. If you believe that I'm doing education research in order to improve the learning experiences of children, then the people that I want to be reading it are teachers. And I have to say that I know of no teachers whatsoever who read the academic literature. And one of the possible reasons is that they can't get into it.
Libraries in general are changing anyway. The internet has changed the music industry, changed the journalistic industry. It's changing the roles of libraries anyway. So the students, researchers, instant access to all literature immediately, okay? From their desks, from their mobiles, from whatever devices. So the role of the library as curators of content, of shelving books, of making sure that those are available, from issuing books, that is changing anyway, irrespective of the introduction of open access. We are talking around about 80% of the library's total budget. Non-staff costs go to, so staff costs are the largest single fraction, okay, paying people's salaries is the largest single fraction of the total budget of the library. And then the non-staff cost, 80% of that goes to subscriptions to journals.
And the key there is that percentage, that fraction has risen. So as journal subscriptions rise over and above the rate of inflation, the fraction of the library's budget that goes to journal subscriptions has risen and put pressure on monograph budgets and staff budgets. So that fraction has been rising.
Which means less money for books, textbooks, for undergraduate education, teaching and learning, that sort of type of thing. I think it is a myth that open access journals are low quality. There are some very high quality, high impact journals out there. Of course, it can be difficult to assess their quality because they're relatively new journals and they're a new model. I think I've heard that Nature editor of Nature said open access is inevitable. It will happen. It's just how quick and in what form it will happen.